It's no secret that social media is bad for you, but the question is, why are we still using it? Well, I grew up addicted to social media, and I remember using it so much that I genuinely felt like I had to log on every single day, even though I didn't even enjoy it. So in this video, I'm gonna reveal how your kids may actually be suffering while using social media. The reason why you and your kids cannot comprehend life without social media, and the one thing that you as a parent could do to help your kid off social media. But first, we have to look at a common mistake that some parents make when trying to limit their kids' screen time. And picture a scene of your kid sitting on the couch, scrolling on their phone, and you tell them that you're enforcing a 1 hour limit. Well, your kid is probably going to get pretty angry. And the reason why is because your kid is basically filling a void in his life by using social media. And when you take that away from him, he's left with just a void. And I know this because this is what I did. This is exactly what I did. And the way you can get rid of that void is the thing that I alluded to earlier that I'll let you know about later on in the video. But we have to talk about why your kid is actually suffering while using social media, because this is something that not a lot of people talk about. And this is entirely my own opinion, so let me know in the comments if you think otherwise, but I believe that no one actually enjoys social media, because I never actually enjoyed social media. I thought I enjoyed social media, but that was just the addiction speaking. I think that no one actually likes it. It's just a way to numb ourselves, and there's no real pleasure out of it. Yeah, we get the shallow pleasure, but we don't get the real pleasure like we do in real life, talking to real people or having real life experiences. And that's why I believe that your kid may actually be suffering while they're using social media, because I was always using social media as a way to kind of numb myself to my life, numb myself to the world around me. And that's why it was so harmful, because I didn't have any real reason to live, because I always just went on social media to stop myself from seeing the outside world. And that brings me to the next thing that I alluded to in the beginning of this video, how we can't comprehend life without social media. I remember when I first started to realize that social media was bad for me and that I didn't want my future to be miserable. And so I remember sitting at my kitchen table with my phone out, and I had already filled out the form to delete my social media account permanently. This was after months of reducing my screen time and months of getting rid of my social media activity online, but I wanted to just go all in and delete it. And I remember sitting there looking at the button, and I couldn't do it. I could not comprehend what life would be like on the other side of no social media. I couldn't comprehend it. And the reason why is because the addiction clouds our mind. Social media, I mean, look at the pictures. Social media literally rewires our brain. So we physically cannot perceive what life would be like without it. It makes us dependent on it. It's almost like cocaine. Cocaine addicts are dependent to that drug. Startling, the correlation there. And so that's why we can't perceive what life would be like on the other side of deleting social media, because the addiction makes it impossible to do so. But if you just keep walking forward with that understanding that it's just fear, it's just the addiction triggering your fear in your brain, then you can move forward a lot more confidently. Now, multiple times in the beginning of this video, I promised to you the one thing that you as a parent could do to help your kid off of screen time. And it's the thing that my dad did for me, because I talked about how in that hypothetical story where your kid is on the couch and he's on his phone and you enforce a 1 hour limit, he would not like that. And it's because he's filling a void. Well, what my dad did for me was he got rid of the void altogether. So there was no need to fill it with social media. And the way he did that was to show me what it looks like to be ambitious, what it looks like to build yourself a future that's worth living in. That's why we like social media so much, because we numb ourselves to our present, to our actual life, because it's hard to build a future for ourselves. But my dad showed me what it looks like to build yourself a future. And that is the purpose that you have to give your kid if you want him to get off of social media. And the truth is that your kid's not going to get off social media. I didn't get off social media. My dad ran an Ironman when I was 13 years old. I didn't delete social media until last year when I was 17. So it is a long process, but it cannot happen unless you show your kid what it looks like to be ambitious and driven. And in order to do that, there's some things you have to learn. There's some things that you have to know. And I talk all about it in this video. So go check it out. Man, that was a good video. Let's go, baby.